Nasdaq's still climbing up. Oh, you guys moved time zones? Yeah, so the new Fortnite season's good. I gotta play it. I've been playing Call of Duty a lot. I played like maybe played like a couple games, but I didn't really actually get to see like my map's still gray and stuff. A little bit of a buyer there on the 53 quarter. A bunch of selling come in, followed by more buying. What do we got? 8 minutes until the open. So they failed to hold that 53 level. There was a ton of action going on around that 53. Just failed to hold it twice in a row. Jake V, yeah, good morning. Yeah, wait, pretty crazy response today. CPI number. Um, it came in a lot lower than expected. I guess the forecast was 6.1. It came in at 6. The year over year forecast was 7.3. It came in at 7.1. The core CPI month over month, which was like basically the only real important number, was expected zero point 0.3, came in at zero point 0.2. And so basically that just assumes that they just assume that that means they're going to be pricing in some rate cuts. Or not, well, rate cuts sooner than later, I guess. Tomorrow, 2 o'clock, I think. 2 o'clock, like the report will come out, and then 2:30 he'll be hot on the mic. Yeah, so you really just have to wait for the rotations to kind of set up, and then for me, what I like to do is just use those mechanical numbers because I know people like numbers. And so you figure like right where the market's at right now, 4150, the market's up 3%. So this is either a make or break position. The Nasdaq's up 4%, so they're either going to mark it up even more or they're going to drop it back down to 2%. And a 2% um that would put us back at 4,100. So basically, if they don't hold this 4,150, then that next spot they'll try to hold probably is 4,100. That's kind of how I'm going to play this today. Hopefully we can just see everything green right off the rip and just we'll just close our eyes and buy, but never that easy. The volatility off the market today probably is going to absolutely. All right. Got about 1 minute until the market opens up. You can see at the Fed funds rate tool, probabilities have dropped basically to 80. It's 80 and 20. So that's kind of something I wanted to bring up. Like, Powell could just toss the nail in the coffin tomorrow and be like, you know what, I'm raising 3/4 basis points just because obviously this is working and I really want to get it down. So I told you guys I wasn't fucking around. Now I'm not fucking around, and boom. So just because it's only a 20% basis point or 20% probability doesn't mean it's not possible, right? It's like when the weatherman says, "Oh, it's a 90% chance of sunshine," and then boom, it fucking rains. It's like, well, this guy's a fucking idiot. Well, he said there was 10% chance of rain. It's just you saw 90% and saw that as 100. So we've got to always maintain perspective and just understand we can't get super bullish bias just because of what's happened most recently. There we go. So volatility early. This was a pullback level from earlier in the market, like around 9 o'clock. Still coming down here. Might be a little bit of opportunity here if the market can hold this kind of weak low here. See how this volume kind of dies off? You're seeing the breath open up super positive. Sectors are kind of mixed here. A little bit of short covering. This is tough. Offer moves down still. Doesn't hold. Watch the weak spots in the profile. You're getting into one right there. Now, so the market visits this weak spot. Let's say the market pops back up to this 33, right? Right where the offer's at. And you can see the offer. Basically, you see like this 900 lot order come in and just kind of smash the market down from that 36, 35 area, which is, right above it. So if the market were to bounce back into there and we don't see this offer move from that 36 down to this 33 and see big offers come out, you see a big offer on 33 as well. So maybe he already did move down. So if you don't see him re-offer this 33 level, then we kind of expect this to bounce at least back up to this 36 where he offered originally. The low tick is 1086 positive. What's that, 4142? The big bond auction today as well. At some point. I still haven't taken a trade. So yeah, I'm just tried to see if it was going to bounce back into our qualification box. It didn't. So don't mess with it. What's weird is the Nasdaq doesn't seem to be as puking as hard as the ES is, but it's just because I'm so zoomed out. Range was crazy. Breath has cooled off quite a bit. We were at 19, we're at 15. Every sector has flipped red. Tick is coming down back into reality, still kind of waiting for this tick to, the first tick really doesn't count. We'll get a new tick here soon. If this second 5-minute tick doesn't get below 0, there's us our opportunity. Missed that nice bounce from 4100. Yeah, there'll be more. Why is the tick so high? Because of how high opening all the stocks are. Because of the gap. Anytime there's a big gap, it's gonna open up on a gonna open up higher. Okay. I think the tick is probably the most important, right? Um, all the time. And then value. I mean, tick is just important if you're gonna get in a trade. But really developing value is what I pay the most attention to, I think. The volume's moving down here so far. A little taper Ruski and then get above the point of control. There might be some opportunity. Whoa. A lot of aggressive shorts trying to enter the market there. Impulse was 19.5. Short covering here. Watch to see volume below it. Now we're getting liquidation. Ooh, no, not yet. We should start seeing liquidation below this level. If we keep holding right here, we should see the liquidation. Didn't hold it. Shorts cover again. Volume's moving down lower and holding. Tech is down 50%. Healthcare down 25. Financials down 92 or not 92.92. You guys know what I mean. So that this last 5 minute tick failed to get down to zero. A little bit of a bounce here. A little bit more short covering or maybe profit taken there. Yeah, short covering. You can see I cleared this bid ask volume here, so it's going to have to rebuild out. We're going to get to see this auction develop in real time. Well, just, I mean, we're always seeing it in real time, but we're going to see it without the previous volume that was there. And you can see they keep kind of getting stuck around this like 13, 14 area. These sellers did. So first trade kind of worked out like a charm. I mean, not a huge trade, but just a little fade off the low. Got my stop at 15.5. I'm guaranteed at least a point of profit. And we'll see how high fly. Seller's trying to be aggressive again here on this 1875. Got stuck. A little bit of a reaction off that point of control. There's some offers trying to move down here on this 20. Volume's good, but doesn't look like the bot will play. Right. Offer's moving down right here on this 20, still trying to at least. We're above the point of control now and holding. Weak spot above is 31. They're trying to be aggressive here. Sellers are, but they're getting stuck. They're not making any headway. A little bit of a struggle there at the 25 for the buyer, so be careful here. I'm gonna move my stop up. Well, nah, actually, I'm just gonna be tight with it if it gets below 25.50. We were only looking for 31 here, so we're almost there. No reason to be too crazy. I'm gonna move my stop up to 27 here. Nice. 25.50 was a level before. So we're seeing the point of control move up now. But sellers are struggling here a bit. Or buyers are struggling here a bit, I mean. Excuse me. Like you're seeing a little bit of absorption here from sellers. A seller trying to like kind of move down. But they could just be, kind of trying to fill this structure in. Tough to tell. Text back to green here. God, we fucking nailed that bottom though, guys. Good shit. That was, oof, that was nice. See, that's why I love the tick on gap days. Like, we kind of assumed that the market was going to be strong. Literally just waited for that second 5 minute tick to fail to make a move below zero. Closed our eyes. Press the buy button. 112 and 6 for the all put counts. So this is kind of where I have a zone here. So let's see if it acts as resistance. There's a weak spot here, the 610. And we're kind of coming back up into the volume from the overnight. So let's see some more sellers here. Open's only 41.40, just right above. Buyers still stepping up. This is that weak spot right here. That 34. That's like 34 half. Yeah, see, it just couldn't hold above it right there. So there's still some selling there. Let's see a little they do a little bit of backing and filling here. So what we do want to notice on this right here um, is pay attention to the weighted AD and pay attention to any of these other sectors start to go green. So every sector was red, and now we're back above the VPOC, and we're seeing tech green, communications is green, very green, and energy is flipping green. Real estate doesn't really matter. Um, Healthcare is coming back down lower. Financials getting beat up pretty bad here. Consumer discretionary is down quite a bit as well. So if any of these other sectors can go green, then there may be some more opportunity. But until then, it's kind of like, you know, remember the volatility. So you got to be very, very careful. Decent trade though to start the day. Tech looks like a pin bar. Like it tested low off the open, tested high, and now it's right back at its open. XLK. So maybe some indecision from tech here. No tech's up the most. Seller's getting stuck right here. 24 half. Let's see if the tick pops 1,000. The tick hitting 1,000 here though, and not being at the high of the day is a little disheartening to stay in this long again. Move my stop to 29 quarter. Sometimes I swear, as soon as I say it out loud, the market like, oh, where's it at? Nice. Go back to this weak spot again. Let's see if we can bust up through it this time. Move our stop to 33. Go ahead and cover here for the open a little bit. All right, one left. Stop at 33. Well, originally, yeah, but I'm not in that same trade anymore. Not one line in a trade. Well, one lot. But I'm only long right here from 32. My stop's just 1 point in profit. I just covered most above the open or below the open, excuse me. But no, originally that first play worked out nice just because the tick came down, couldn't crack below zero, and the market just tempo just died. So I just kind of just went with it. Part of my game plan today was to be aggressive. I literally wrote it down on my paper. Be aggressive. Like the same thing I tell my kids before we go play any sports. Like remember, one thing that most kids don't have, aggression. So just be aggressive. Be better than them. My son this weekend, well, we have basketball every Saturday, and kid shoots, it comes off. He missed it, and Curtis and this other kid both looking up at the ball. Right? I mean, they're 8 and 9 years old, so they're both just staring up at the ball. They don't even see each other. Boom! They run into each other, and Curtis just fucking drops this kid. And this kid starts crying because Curtis's forehead hit his face. Curtis got the rebound, and then the ref called a foul. And Curtis like looked to the stands at me and was like, "What?" I was just like, "What's wrong with that?" Yeah, you didn't even see him. It's not your fault. Yeah, Jake, I don't know. So today we have. So Jake is asking. The market's position is mostly news reaction. How long does it feel before the effect wear off and we return to normal? It's hard to tell just because um we have so much going on. So now people are basically trying to get into positions because we saw they guessed wrong yesterday, which is what this move was based off of. Like the lowest forecaster, I think, and let me pull up the. We're catching another little bit of a bid here. One second. Bet the other kid got a participation trophy. Not many. There's not many participation trophies passed out in Scranton. If anything, these parents are harder on their kids when it comes to sports than I am on my kids. I'm harder on my kids about life. Some of these kids are whiny ass little bitches, but you should see some of the dads at these basketball games. It is crazy. They're like, yelling at their kid. I'm like, he's fucking 9. Not gonna. I mean, he's 9 and small and white. Like, its odds of being in the NBA are just so slim. Put your effort somewhere else, buddy. You know. But oh, I bet. Yeah. Anywhere we get some Hispanics and some alcohol, there's guaranteed gonna be a fight at some point. Yeah. Especially if there's sports involved too. Yeah, and your kid. Yeah. I thought this was America. You ever seen that South Park episode? There's a South Park episode where Stan. Have you've seen South Park before though? So like Stan's dad, Stan plays little league baseball or like whatever it is, and he goes around to like all the games and fights all the other dads. Like he just starts talking shit, and then he gets in a fight at every single game, and he's like preparing for this one dad who's like the top fighter from the team that won the championship last year. And so it's a pretty funny episode. And then it uh that's funny. He's like, "How old are you?" 12. Yeah, it's just a matter of time. Like mixing sports, alcohol, and your kids recipe for. Oh, like for the clubs and stuff. Yeah, right. That's crazy. See, I don't get mad at like other parents and shit. I get mad at the coach because I'm like I understand like Curtis might not be the best at basketball, right? He's definitely the most aggressive on the team. He definitely leads the team in steals. But he's just not the best at dribbling because he's so fast. So he's just like, he's just too fast. He's like fucking Russell Westbrook. Sometimes he's just gonna lose the ball. And but the coach will like put in these other kids and he thinks they're good, but the kids are fucking garbage. They just know how to shoot threes. They're like, they're new age kids, and it's like also it's fucking 9-year-old rec basketball. So the kids should get the same minutes. There's 10 kids, 5 in, 5 out, fucking just you're not fucking Bill Belichick over here, or whoever's a good basketball coach. Like, get the fuck out of here. Yeah, it's stupid. It's just crazy. And this guy, my son's coach, looks like a fucking total douche. Makes it worse. Like when they look like a fucking idiot, you're just like, oh, god damn it, this guy sucks. I should be the coach. hate that. The VIX, would the VIX be a good barometer? I mean, the VIX is already cooled off quite a bit. It's already down like 22, so it's down 11%. So less people are buying puts, but I think basically today, like I was saying, they're just going to kind of reposition into tomorrow's Fed meeting. So, I mean, that high was 41.80. Got all these single prints below, so you can assume that all of these guys are trapped. I really wish I wasn't such a little bitch and actually held along yesterday. But there's a response right there from that low. This bid keeps trying to jump up. Watch the 18 quarter. If they can't get this thing back below 18 quarter, we'll probably end up seeing half back again. Let's see if VPOC shifts down first. Honestly, the best odds, I mean, I know it's a long wait. The best odds for the next position really are to, because I don't know if I would fade at the A low again. I really like to see this thing stay above this 18 quarter. But especially with tech, I mean, everything's just going red kind of. Seems like it's just a matter of time before it breaks. But there's got to be all these shorts buying back. It's a tough trade anyways. But the best odds I think are to see if B takes the A low, and if you get continuation. Basically, if it doesn't take the A low, there's opportunity there. But if it does take the A low and comes back inside the A range, then you can look for that acceptance inside the A range, because basically we're balancing right now. So if you look below balance and fail to get continuation, especially with the 4100 being so close, it makes sense to try to trade back down to there. But if it can't, that gives you that opportunity. But really, you don't have that. You don't have that information until B comes down to the A low. So you really just have to kind of sit here and do nothing. And I don't think now's the time when you buy it. I think maybe it flushes at this time. Look at the ticks below zero here. Now we're going to get some more information. Offers 13.75. Balls up. $11. Watch the 10 quarter. Watch how it acts on this 10 quarter. Doesn't touch it. We might be good to try this one. The VWAP is right here coming into this. I mean, we can assume there's probably some buyers around here, right? There's the short covering, so that's what we were looking for. So it's right where that 10 quarters at, okay? So that's what we like. So watch a pop of this 10 quarter and we should be good. VWAP's at 4. People are front running the VWAP, right? Taking profit there. There's 10 quarter. Offer's still standing. Easy money. So easy little fade there. I want to just move your stop to break even in case you get a flush. I got my stop on 1075 now, so I'm just gonna let it chill. It's one tick above my fill, even though I should have got filled on 10 quarters. Fucking bullshit. Patience gets you paid. There it is. I'm gonna move my stop up to 13.5 here. And the reason I'm trailing my stop so much during this is because, um, I mean, one, because the volatility, obviously, but two, because we're fading the market, right? We're still below the open. I mean, there's been opportunity to short the market for sure too. It's just I've been kind of being patient and just waiting for these bounces. But there's opportunity. Stops up at 15.5 now. Um, there's opportunity on both sides because of the volatility. I just like to play the bounces. I'm able to see the bounces a little bit easier for my brain. But like if you've been getting short on the bounces, there's nothing wrong with that. And it's probably been actually more profitable since we didn't get above the open. And everything is red. So I should probably be shorting is what I'm saying. I'm flat in the trade now. Average daily range, but using hours instead of days. For what, Jake? What are you talking about? Oh, got back. I stop. Not sure what. Oh, for what? Oh. Oh, okay, nice. It's hard for me to get short, even though I mean I guess you could probably say we're one time framing down. But the volatility really hasn't told us anything. You got a liquidation off the open of all the extra longs, which makes sense, but we haven't really. I mean, we're still on that gap to the upside. Gap rules say go with any gap that doesn't fill, and so that's kind of the way I've been playing it. Oh, market getting back to normal. Um, I don't think that would be ADR using hours is just going to give you intraday volatility. There's nothing there, I don't think. I mean, you got to think when all this craziness kicked off, it was the war in Ukraine, and then all the other shit that came along with it. right? Or maybe it was a mask. So as we're seeing inflation supposedly go lower, if we start to see tensions start to cool over in Ukraine, then we could really start to see, or the market could start to be a believer in the rally. Until we get Powell's speech tomorrow and he answers some questions basically about how he's going to project forward. Is the target Fed funds rate going to be that 4.6 or 4.8 or 5.0? We'll have to see what he says. Um, Remember, like I said, he could still price in, he could still decide that tomorrow they're going to do a 3/4 basis point rate hike and just fucking smack the market back down to reality, which, honestly, I wouldn't even, I would be kind of happy. It'd be like, fucking fire sale discount. You'd be seeing a bunch of people panic and sell, and then um, just be slowly buying all that shit up there. Hey, where you're at? Shit, don't tell my dad. Nasdaq's trying to break higher here. Ooh, volatility. Yeah, point 0.5. It should be a half basis point rate hike. It should be. That's what it's saying. It's like 80-20%. The only thing is like you just can't. You can't. I'm just trying to help everybody maintain perspective, right? So like if it is let's say 75 basis point rate hike, you don't want to just get, convinced or confused on what the market's actually trying to say. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't I just, and it's just, you don't want to just completely rule it out. You're like, "Oh, it's going to be point 0.5 no matter what. I'm a buyer." Right? Because it's going to be point 0.5, the market's just going to like that. It's going to go up. Just always, I mean, for me, I always try to maintain perspective, and we can only trade the information that we get. That's why, like, predictions are great, but there's a complete difference on what you predict and how you trade it. You know what I mean? Like, I can predict shit all fucking day, and you know if I'm not trading it, probably easier to predict because I have no emotional attachment to it. um you're short all the way to 2024 or 25. Dang, that's like a Jared thought process. I mean for me, since we're intraday traders, I just take the day as it develops and trade the day. But I think maybe we have one more attempt at the low. um but I mean, if you look at the monthly, chart here, you can really kind of see. I would say this, if you were to just draw a bracket like this, all this balance, right? And remember, the numbers are going to change, so it doesn't. Let's actually go to the SPX so we can get stuff. But we say we're kind of in this bracket here on a monthly basis. It's like the market moved off the high, balanced, pushed lower, balanced, pushed lower. Now it's pushing back up into this balance. So really, any recapture of the 4200 basically just lets you know that the market's done with that. Like, this is going to be a swing low, basically. And I mean, you can kind of see, where do we pull back to? The most recent balance, all the way back down to it. Tested it. You know, I mean, you were to draw a little Fibonacci from here to here, just so we could find out the 50%. level. Yeah, it's pretty close to this low. This low bounces off, happens to be the 50 moving average on the monthly, right? There's so many um what is this what are the levels of con or so many confluences kind of all at the same spot that it made sense. And we were able to read between the lines of what Powell was actually saying. And it was the 50 move or 50 percent retracement on the fucking COVID low to all time high, back into a previous balance. So as we're in this balance, I would say that the market is almost guaranteeing that it's gonna. Well, did it test 175? It did. Okay, so it did test up there 75. Um, not on the SPX. You can see on the SPX, it's trading at 4070. The futures are trading at 4107. So futures are kind of leading the SPX here, even though the market's coming down a little bit. The best bull trap of all time coming soon. Yeah, you wonder. You wonder. But, as always, we'll just maintain perspective. I think there's good opportunity that we come up here and maybe see that rejection off of this high, a little retest, and then go. That's kind of what I'm thinking long term. But the thing is, I'm not really a long term trader. I don't do a lot of long term trading, so it really doesn't matter for me. I'm just trying to. The reason I do it is because I'm trying to get into the head of what is a long term trader thinking, because that's what I think really the most important key is understanding trader psychology. And if you can understand your opponents, then you can either position with them if you think they're right, or you can position against them if you think they're wrong, and always manage risk while you're doing it. So offer back on the 10 quarter again now that we're back down here. And you're seeing some volume flow in down here. So bullish signal here would be if B comes back into A, gets accepted into A, we see the VPOC shift down, prices above it, and then we start to play the half pipe here up above. But until then, you really just got to be cautious if you're buying here. Um, Everything is kind of saying that the market is trying to go lower. So yeah, it was pretty close. I don't know if it actually tapped the open, but it was pretty close. I was actually saying like that I probably should have been shorting. I was just waiting for those bounces and caught some nice bounces by staying patient. But yeah, I was saying like everything now is pretty much leaning us to the downside or saying that we should go lower. The only thing kind of driving me off of it is how weak the tick is. But I won't really like for my next long. Yeah, my next long. Like I'm not gonna take a short. I might take a short. But for my the next for me to get long, I'm looking for the market to come back up here around this like 14, 10 to 14 area. Um, and I have my zone at 10, but that was just kind of for that first play. But if it comes up to this 14, we see the VPOC move down, then I think there's some opportunity, get accepted back inside A range and trade back up to that 28. But so far, I mean, everything else is saying down. The breadth has been cut in half on both sides. There's that 4100. Only thing green is utilities. Tech's getting just hammered right now. And this is kind of the reason, look at this thing just starting to fucking plummet. The reason that we were being so tight with our stops is because we definitely didn't want to get trapped in something like this. That would have been cool. But it's Xmas, bro. Yeah, I know. Well, you already got the Christmas rally. That was today. Tomorrow you're gonna find out if you're gonna get the Powell pump or the Powell plummet. You think SPX will go 2015 levels? Let me see. Talking 2015. Yeah, so you're thinking because I basically have all these balance levels kind of mapped out here, and so this is the area that you're talking here down here 2200. That'd be a fat move. It'd have to go through. It'd have to. I mean, it'd have to go through a lot to get there. Not that it's not possible. Yes. Short covering there on the 94 in time. Bonds are up 1%. Can't wait to talk to James later. All right, getting below 1,000 on that last push lower. So there's some selling kind of powering into the market here. And next level down really is like 40, 50. You know what I mean? Like that's like we talked about this morning, where if you can't hold 4150, then 4100 seems like the next level down. Well, we just kind of skated through 4100. So the next level down mechanically 4150. You think we'll go right back to even Israel for tomorrow's FOMC? That would be crazy. I mean, but remember CPI has done that. Actually, CPI, if you think back, um, here's the daily chart. CPI has been some of these days here where we've got like this big gap down and then these rips up, or these big rips up and then these gaps down. I have to look back at the previous CPI dates. Let me see if I could find them. I'll make sure I see the market. Okay, so here we go. So last one was November 10th, which was here, which was that big rip up. Okay. So this big rip up, that was the last CPI. We never came back to it. Great gap still holding. Before that, October 13th. What a fucking shock. It's the low. Market pops up. I mean, I I don't want to say. I mean, I do want to say like we were so fucking spot on to deciphering what Powell said. It was just insane. I think. I mean, just super lucky because like obviously I don't know shit about economics, but like economics don't know shit about the economy, or at least not about the market. Before that, September 13th, previous high. We're seeing a trend here. So let's do some research here that we haven't thought about until right now. So good for you, Israel, getting us on this train. Um, so here, this low held the whole time, right? This low held the whole time. This high has held, and we traded right to it. So the same high from the previous CPI on the 13th that started to move lower. Okay, and then before that, we had August 10th, which was here, a move up, and then that was up back to trend and then kind of fail off that. That was when we failed off that 200. Before that was July 13th, which was this day, and then we actually got a little bit lower the next day and moved up. But you're kind of seeing like, I mean, CPI, you figure you open here, especially this is the October one, move down almost 3%, go back to even, and then move up another 3%. So 6% total move. Well, today, you know, start from here, the market moved up about 4%, up about 1.5 now. So if we price in a total 6%, 2% below the open, just, you know, would be right back down to the low balance. So definitely not something that you, not an impossible thing to happen. C period opening up. This report needed to be good. Yeah, more or less. So we got single prints above now. So gap below, single prints above. And we kind of talked about what our plan was there, even though it didn't act on it because I was fucking chitter chatting the whole time. But you guys got to shut me up sometimes. We talked about if B period gets accepted below A, we want to go with. That would have been a nice trade. See what C period does here. The battle of trapped inventory. Yeah, yeah. Bitcoin is on a tear. You know, I was telling James I think that the Bitcoin like temporary low is in, but you never know with Bitcoin. So, but I think that like 16,500 might be the low on Bitcoin for a while. Probably today, and then it fucking shits the bed. Lower highs, lower lows. Tick is, basically just been spending time below zero. So sellers really getting their chance here to force the market lower. Look at the weighted AD, really puking down 400 now. Tech getting just absolutely smacked. Apple's coming lower. Still has a bit of a gap higher here. Dow one time framing lower. Nasdaq one time framing lower. ES one time framing lower. On the daily chart? Yeah. You're talking on the daily chart, right? Well, and it's tough when you're drawing it on a futures chart too because of the contract changes. It's annoying as shit. Yeah, that's a good point. Especially it ticks popping up here above the zero. Nasdaq caught a little bit of a bounce here too, trying to climb up back to its VWAP, ES VWAP at 4108 for 4104. Be the target on any break high above this 4100. You assuming that there's some selling on the 4100. Remember, we've got trapped inventory on both sides. So you've got trapped longs that are selling as we get into these single prints above, and trapped shorts that are buying their positions back as the market breaks down into these single prints below. So, because remember, gap's not filled until all the way down here, 4026. We're still, 75 points above that. It's 10:35. A little aggressive selling there. Everyone trying to piggyback off of that 4,000 trade, or that 4,100 trade, excuse me. Came up to 4,100, it went down. Bunch of aggressive sellers down on the 91 got stuck. Now their stops are right at 4,100. So if we get above 4,100, the VWAP's 4,104. But today's kind of like one of those weird situations, right? Where like I really don't want to be. I mean, I'd want to get short at the C high, not this specific C high, but I'd want to be shorting at the C high if it can't fill singles, close to the C high as I can if it can't fill the singles above, right? Um, but I would also like to short if C gets below B and gets out of that range and volume starts to come in lower, then I think, there's good opportunity for us to trade down to that 40-50. So, but also I'm like, what are you doing? This is gonna go back up. Buy it. So when your brain's doing that, if you guys ever have those situations, the best thing to do is just nothing. Maybe stand up, Maybe put some dumbbells next to your computer desk. Do some exercises. So we basically just be looking for C to get acceptance below this B low. You got mechanical buying off the B low. But if we get acceptance and volume down here below this, we want to go with this really. Um, go get. Mm, 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 mm. Of course, I haven't covered yet, so we're being careful here. There's short covering right there. So if you want to take profit, now's the time. And come back up. Buyers aggressive at the 82 half. Come on, damn it, back down below the 80. Let's go. But like I said, the targets here is 40, 50. Getting a little bit of short covering, which isn't ideal. Um, I'd like to see some liquidation. Keep seeing little pumps down of to be just traders just shorting the market. It didn't get lower right there. I don't like that. Oh yeah, tempo is definitely good to the downside. I'm gonna put my stop here on 82. So last lot, 2 points in profit no matter what. I didn't like that tick didn't smack that 1,000 level. I mean, going. The volatility is just a little bit. Probably cover around 71. You're thinking? I don't know. Morning, Patrick. Hmm. That would just have to be. That would have just had to been a go with when. So if it doesn't get up to your entry, like we had kind of had two entries right there, right? Like fail of single prints, which would have been nice. Comes up here, fails single prints, get short there. But then when it got pushed down below this B low, basically just have to kind of go with it and then use the B low as your stop. That's how you manage the risk right there. That's how I manage the. But I think, I mean, honestly, like for every time that it doesn't come up to your entry, there's another time where it does come up to your entry, and then you either, yeah, you got in early, or you didn't, you don't take it because now you're like convinced that it's not going to be there. It's like, yeah. Yeah, I think so too. It's I wouldn't call it picky, I'd call it patient, but picky almost makes it sound bad. But it's a good thing. You know, piece of shit. So what I do is on days of volatility, what I do is I try to let it get going. I try to let it run a little bit and I try to add. So like I'm basically using honestly, I think on days of volatility, I probably trade bigger size because I'm adding to positions while they're winning. But also like most of the time my initial position is either a one lot or a two lot um based off, I mean, because of the volatility. Like let's say if I were to get short here 84, right? But then if it starts to go right away, then I'll just kind of like hammer, let's say if I'm in a long, I'll just be like lifting the offer to get into a couple more lots and then just being really tight with those add-ons. But hopefully with the volatility, you're getting the you're getting in with the wave, it's kind of like dragging you back to shore. So you can get in those extra lots, take them off, and still sit in that one lot as the market rolls around. Right. So like on that position earlier, my first ad was my first ad was 18. Then I added one at 2150, and then I added one at 1975. So then I had those three lots on, and it took them off at 37.75, 37.50, and 26.75. So I just like, got into the initial position, it bounced a little bit, added the second two, and then just rode it up. But then held it. That's another thing too. On days of volatility, you've got to hold your position. Like on days of volatility, most of your trades are either going to be like immediate winners or immediate losers. You know what I mean? And so like you've got to let your trades work on these days because your your trade winning percentage is probably going to be less on days of volatility. So that means that you can't be as um like you've really got to let your trades go to their full potential before taking them off because you've got to make up for some of those like sometimes you get in you get stopped out right away because the market just fucking shits the bed 5 points, and you've got to smash the flat. Yeah, and you're not there's no point to sit through that. You just get in, it starts to lose right away, boom, just smash the flat, look for a better spot to get in. That's why I like my little gray zones. I really try to qualify those trades in there. It helps me stay a little bit more patient. It's like your boxes that you do. Um, Basically kind of the same idea. Yeah. Um, it really just depends on the trade. I typically don't go above 6 lots no matter what. That's just like where I feel comfortable with my account. Um, but like most of the time, like my average trading size is 3 lots. Like most of the time, I'm looking to fill 3 lots because most of the time I have two take profits in mind, and I want to try to catch a runner. Yeah, you don't. And that's the thing is like, and for me, like I'm not trying to make $1 million. You know what I mean? Like it'd be cool to push the edge, but like when you push towards that, like you want to make I'm gonna be $1 million trader or something like that. Um, you're also pushing the risk too. You have to naturally, right? And so for me, like I'm just not at that stage yet, I guess. And maybe I won't ever be. Um, you know, I'm pretty comfortable with where I'm at. Like I said, like the way that I look at it, the ultimate goal really for everybody, especially starting up, like if you've been doing this for a year, 2 years, even maybe longer than that, um, if you can make $500 a day, that's cash. That's 10K a month. So there's no right, exactly, yeah. Yeah, yeah. I don't. Or my dad's even moving. He's moving to Texas. Yep, everyone's out. My uncle Lauren though, and my uncle Stuart, they'll never leave. My uncle Lauren loves where he lives at. He lives in Alameda. He lives in a nice place. And then my uncle Stuart lives up near Sacramento, and that's where my grandfather lives. So they're not gonna. Well, I mean, shark attacks don't happen that often. You know what I mean? If you were to do like a per cap, like per person that goes surfing versus how many people actually get bit, it would be, you know, yeah. Was that in Florida? Yeah, because we don't really have jellyfish on the West Coast. Not really. No, the East Coast has them like a motherfucker. Yeah, they're like everywhere. Like fucking Finding Nemo in there. Like a fucking scene from an R. Kelly movie out there. Piss everywhere. Yeah. You know what used to we so in Santa Cruz when you do the lifeguard test, you have to swim around the wharf. But there's a ton of fucking sea lions on the wharf. And so like that's what always made me nervous. I mean, we never ran into any of them. Like I mean, they're there and you can hear them and see them, but like they never got aggressive. But that's what always made me nervous. Like if one of those were to grab you and just hold you underwater, you are fucked. You know? Yeah, they go for them, yeah. I mean, really the most dangerous thing in the water though is a killer whale because they're brutal and smart as fuck. Did you ever watch that documentary called Blackfish? Bro, it's savage. So, bro, this fucking orca was at SeaWorld somewhere in the United States, grabbed her trainer by the foot, dragged her down to the bottom of the pool, and held her there until she drowned. Didn't eat her, didn't fucking like. That's how smart. It knew the orca knew that the human couldn't stay underwater, and just long as it could, and just dragged it down to the bottom and held it there until it died, or the person. You know, I'm like, damn, that's ice cold. Even though the chances are low, they're even lower if you stay out of the ocean. Yeah. More people have been struck by lightning twice than victims of sharks. Yeah, could be. But I mean, I definitely understand that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like the probabilities thing, like we said. Like, yeah, your odds are not very high of getting bit by a shark, but what's your life going to be like if shark bites off your arm? Do you want to take that risk, or you, like Roach said, you just mitigate that risk completely because the odds of a shark jumping, out of the water and into a tornado and then biting your arm off are just very low. Oh yeah, I have seen a video like that, Roach. Yeah, where the orcas jump up on the ice. She'll be famous. I don't want to be famous for missing an arm. And plus, nowadays you won't be famous because nobody gives a shit about that. If it doesn't involve like guns or Russia or stock market, nobody cares. Like, oh, she lost an arm, whatever. Yeah, and you're starting to finally see a little bit of a taper here as well. Tick's trying to climb back above zero. Weighted AD's coming off of it a little bit. AD's, yeah. And that's like right at that B low, so we're still accepting lower, and we still have trapped inventory above. Well, and that could be, that's. Oops, sorry. Go ahead. I agree. Yeah. So if we can get above this 86, this B low, and start to get a little bit of rotation here, and get above, I mean, really just see it kind of bounce above this volume. You could use that B low as your stop and look for that retracement. Look for you know, some uptick here though. Yeah, I think you're right. 86 me that key. Oh, from the low here. Reversion. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. There's some volatility here. Better to be nobody with all your limbs. Yeah. I mean, imagine like not even an arm, right? Imagine you just lost both thumbs, like freak accident, boom, both your thumbs get lost. Now you're a cat. You know, you're fucking tough life. uh, can't even flush the toilet. No thumb. All right, there's a little Paparuski off of D right to the 86. They offer it again. I think we're on to something here. Let's watch our tick. If the tick can't get back below 0 and we can pop the 86, we should be golden. Short covering on 83. A little bit of a struggle fest still, though. So you know they don't have the inventory at least of trapped positions here because we don't have single prints in the C period. Right, we open D and close them right away. Sellers getting aggressive at the 83, getting stuck again. So now we're looking at our DOM here and we're seeing all these sell orders come in from like 82 to 83 here, being aggressive, and price is not going anywhere. It's even getting upticks here when it should be getting downticks because of all the selling. You could literally just long that, put your stop 82 quarter, yeah. If we pop this 86. If we don't pop 86, just flatten out. There's pop of 86. Boom, move your if you took the breakout, you know, you can be looking to flatten if it doesn't get back above this 85.75 here, but it looks pretty okay. We want to see this bid down here step up. It keeps pulling off. Kind of weak. Back to the 83. Covering. See if we can try the same trade again here. Back to the 86. Offers coming down there on the 86. Yep, there it is. Where'd they cover at last time? 81 was that kind of shot lower. It was 81. You could see on the 1 minute bar it was like 81. We're in this lower kind of half pipe. Value still developing lower. Right, we've got 3 here, we've got 2 up here, then 2 here, then 3 here. And now we're getting 2 down here. Watch the 86 again. And the tick is struggling here, trying to get back above 0. But that push down on that previous tick wasn't very impressive. Bids chasing. Okay, there we go. Back at the 83. Key decision time for sellers. Are they going to reoffer the 86? So far, you're just seeing profit taking from buyers there. Taking profit at the 86. You already missed it. I saw everything before. Now you're here. It's like. Yeah, that's what we were kind of talking about. Like if it does break above 86 and hold, then you probably get a little bit of a run to the upside. But so far, most of these buyers just seem to keep just taking profit pretty much right at the 86, right below the 86. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've actually, I took a short during B period, but I've taken more long trades than short trades today, and I'm doing actually pretty good. But that's just because of the volatility. I've just been being really patient, waiting for the short covering to come in and then riding it. What 770 is the low? Yeah, pretty much. Should have just kept sitting in that B short. I was short from 41.10. Yeah, I didn't stay in it very long. It's a lot of back and forth, to be honest. Like, I mean, it looks easy when you look at like the profile, but we're starting to get this kind of double distribution look today as well. on a longer look here. And more honestly, if we keep moving lower, you're starting to see the trend really start to pick up to the downside here. Yeah, I mean, it looks like it wants to go down to 40, 50. But I don't know, maybe on a shorter time frame, yeah. And the Nasdaq's popping here. So I'm still in the long from 78, 75. So just holding tight with my stop at the low. Would you say, TJ, we have short cover? Still having short covering? Yeah. Time it. Right. Jared, do you remember yesterday when we were talking about how like all the people were shorting because they think there wasn't going to be a Santa Claus rally, and I was like, and they're wrong. Should have put my money where my mouth was. That fucking move this morning. Well, the move this morning, and I actually caught a nice move on the Nasdaq. Well, not a little baby move, but um, the move this morning actually happened before the report came out. Like the market ripped up and then came back down, and it was still 829, and then as soon as 830 hit, then it really went up. It's like, oh, so you think you can dance? Just fucking yeah. Nobody likes the fucking tuna here. I like the tuna sandwiches. Nobody like. Yeah, he's like, you think you can box? He's like, he knows I can box. Yeah, they didn't do any punches. Oh, old Paul Walker, killed by Hollywood. Poor guy. All right, here's 86. See if they offer it again. This will be the third test. How many times do we? I'm really kind of looking for if we pop this 86, really like 4104. I think like the VWAP would make sense to be the next target up, right? Or maybe the C high. Yeah, 4098. Let's go C high. Weak volume 4094. Yeah, 4094. Yeah, 4094. That's the 200 as well. Right. Fly me to the moon. Bro, my buddy's wedding, he's from Arkansas, but he married this Italian, she's half Italian, half Irish from New York, Long Island. The wedding was just like a movie, bro. I'm telling you, it's funny as fuck. It's nice. Yeah, that was ass. Yeah. Oh, my wedding cost $130. Save that cash for the house. Throw parties. Pay for a bunch of other people to come over and drink. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, that was a bummer because James didn't get to go either, did he? That was back when James couldn't even leave Hawaii because they're on fucking quarantine. You covered at 86? Damn, that's where everybody added at. You fucking fool. Yes, it is. I'm gonna move my stop up here to 88. Looking for 94, but I covered some 92 because well if the market holds here. No, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. I mean, basically what you don't want to see if you're looking for a long is below 81 at all. That would just kind of open the downside up. Really, I'd like to stay above this weak volume here. Yeah, selling just now right there was weak. Selling trying to get back down through there was pretty weak here. Let's see if we get an opposite response from buyers. Take us back up to the VWAP. Basically right at 4100. 87, yeah. Yeah, I think you might be right. I think most of this pop up looking at it kind of looks like short covering. But what we've got to pay attention to here is it looks like shorts are covering again on this 87 area. And so if they're nervous and they're trapped down there and they start short covering here, I mean it's pretty easy to trade this here. If the market doesn't get back below 86, then we know, right? And that's that B low. And 86 being that big key range on the move up, right, where everyone added and Jared closed. um, you know, keep trading that same level. Yeah, I agree. Big time too. Weak spot up is 41 half. 41.501. He's just like, I said it's coming back. 84. If the Nasdaq can climb above its VWAP first, that could it kind of. All right, Jake. We'll catch you later, man. We'd like to see it pop above, like from here, basically just all of a sudden short covering comes in, gets above 86 and stays. If not, there's like the opportunity starts to be that they try to push it a little bit lower first. Seeing the VPOC shift down. Eight minutes until E period opens up. So bullish scenario, E period should open up above 40.86. Now that we're getting back below the D open, that is not awesome for a long. Really, kind of that failure to get up to 4100 makes me think that 4050 is just the ticket here where they want it to go. Nasdaq failed to get its VWAP. Watch this 82 right here. It's kind of a thin spot. Here we got a little bit of liquidation on that push lower. Sellers are stuck on 81.5. Down. So there's the offer, 81.5. They can't hold it below 81.5, then this thing pops back up to 80. They're offering it still. So you can see that 700 lots right there trade the 81.75. Only get one tick of down. Right back to it. Yeah, they're trying to hammer here. Where are you long from? Ouch! Oh my god. That was a real cough too. That was just perfect timing. Well, we saw where the offer's at. The offer's at 82. So if they can't get above 82 and hold, and we just look for a reference there, we've got VPOC here below. So definitely looks like it wants to. Live for love. Good morning. 4 minutes until E period opens up. That offer's still there, sitting on the 81.5. So as soon as we pop this 81.5, should roll to 87. Because the offers, I mean, they're selling down here for sure. But just not making much progress. Not that they're not gonna. Tick is climbing back up above 0. That's where the offer was at last time. I am in a trade, yeah. No, I got into a long. Yeah, just at 79. Stops at 80. So like a little scalper. I'm basically just trying to catch the time. You know what I mean? Like I'm just trying to get in, catch the time, and catch this bounce. And then if it doesn't bounce, then I'm basically just trying to put my profit in right away, or my stop into profit right away, just one tick into profit right away, and catch the bounce. And if it keeps stopping me out, it keeps stopping me out, and I pay some commissions, but I'm not really worried about um, paying commissions, right? If it was a trend where I did that every single day and most of my trades averaged one tick, well then I'd have to start doing some calculations. But when you're doing something like this, when you're trying to kind of time the bounce or be a part of the bounce, um, getting in and getting out a bunch of times in a row and just paying commissions really isn't that big of a deal, I don't think, because the move that goes is going to pay for all those commissions anyways. You didn't have a choice for what? Jared, you're still in that long? Yeah, TJ, are you in a long? Okay. Okay. I'm like, you literally called it out. It happened. You better have fucking taken that trade. Yeah. I took the same I was literally like as soon as it didn't hold that 86 again, I was just like, well, time for TJ's plan. I didn't get as good of an entry as you did though. My entry was 81. But you should be taking profit right here, right? Some profit, right? Well, now that E period is moving higher, so like as E period back tests this 86, so let's say we get the bounce here, because if we don't get a bounce, you want to flatten out, right? You're not going to sit all the way back down to 77. But if we get a bounce here, and then you get a retest of that like 88, um, and volume steps up, then you can add to the long, and then you'll start targeting that D high for the add-on, and then continue to hold that runner until that VWAP 4100. And then for your adding on position here, you want to use the 86 as your stop. Right, that's for the ad, yeah. So now we're getting four TPOs up higher off the low. So we got three rejected, came up to four. The only thing that really can kind of confirm this for us that and make us not want to just completely flatten out right here is a boost of volume, which we're seeing, right? We'd like to see that VPOC shift up, but we need to take that D high. That D high is mechanical high. If we don't take that D high, that's a big weakness from buying, and we just want to get out of the way. And if it doesn't break up at all, then obviously we want to abandon that completely. Nasdaq's popping up. All right, we want to take the high here. We don't want many backticks. Okay, so if you add it to the long, get ready to take that one off quick because we don't want to see many backticks. You could probably even move your added position stop up to 86 half. Give yourself another half a point. Um, so your stop loss should really only be about a point, maybe 2 points at max for that adding position. And for that added on position, you're looking for that 92, 93. So you're just basically scalping 4 points while you're still holding that additional long, looking for that 4100. All the time, understanding that a failure to take that D high, you've got to just be you know, seeing the absorption here, this 40-90. If you don't get us, if you don't get them start to move this thing up fast, you might as well just be on your way. But the one runner, you can still run because you're in such a good spot. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's a psychological thing. You got to get past that, TJ. That's not a that's change the colors off of red because you nailed this trade, right? And this could be the fucking low of the day, right? You nailed the low. And so like, are you just gonna sit in one runner? Where are you gonna take it off? Where are you gonna get back on? Like, I mean, it's fine to take it off or to just sit in the one, but you've got to have a target in mind and you've got to have a retracement in mind. You don't want to be just kind of, because now that you're in a trade, you're like, you start to zoom so far in, you're in this tick, 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 tick. And it's like you can put your stop here and then boom, you get taken out and then it continues another 40 handles and you're like, motherfucker, right? And so you got to be willing to kind of like uh multi manage those trades, right? So like that first one that you added on or the one that you have left, I mean, you know, where is that one going to be for sure wrong and in profit? Well, that's the E low for sure. Let's say you add on the 88, we took it off on the 92, and then that risk goes away. And the thing you can do, so if you add on the 88, let's say, and it doesn't start to work right away, well then just flatten it out. You know, just because you add on doesn't mean you have to keep holding it. You can do it. It can just be a scratch trade as well. No harm, no foul. Mm, right, right. Yeah, you've got to. That's something that you've got to like train yourself, especially because of your trades. Like a lot of times, I mean, I've seen it from you countless times. I mean, like more than 10 at least. Um, but the when you get these reversion to mean trades, you got to be willing to size up either at the low and then just take some off early, or you've got to be willing to kind of add in on those bigger moves. I mean, this one's kind of retracing a bit, so but you got to be willing to add on those moves just in case. You know what's a good practice that I saw um that I saw somebody doing was Peter talking about here.
Have to just shut down. I can soft reset the audio.
All right. Peter Rosencheck's about to start a lap session. Was and I'm not trying. I want to make it clear. I'm not saying that you're doing anything wrong, TJ. Because I think that's a great trade, but like just over time, you know what I mean? Over time. Right. But I see what you mean. Like even like my chart right now says my entry is 89 quarter. That's where my average was based off my initial trade, which was from 81, and then my add-on trade from 88. It's weird. I don't know why it says 89 quarter, but it yeah. No, I definitely. Do you have on your charts, do you have your like where you click trade, it says show order fills? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, today, I mean, there was a higher risk today just because of the price action. Kind of starting to shape up like a B-shaped profile. You need me to start pressing the buy button, Jared? I mean, really, you should have probably flattened out the 86 because that's been the key pivot level, the 86. Yeah, you can. If you go to your chart and then is it go to trade and then or no, where is it? No, go to settings, yes. Chart settings and then go to trading and then it will say uh, open position average price, use first in, first out matching for open. If you just use flat to flat for open position or position average price, then it won't do that. Yeah, no matter like if you took off the wrong take profit first or not, yeah, it won't just like because if you let's say you added 177 and then you added another 188, well your average should be somewhere around here, so it'll just keep that's where it will show your average even if you took the take profit off of this one up here and now you have this 88, technically you have this 88 lot order left, so it's like showing that you're down, whatever 5 points or whatever. It will actually show this is your kind of break even level. Either that or that theoretical entry price. Yeah, especially if you don't save it. Can't go back. How did I have this? Yeah. I guess all we have to do is just watch this trend. If we don't break this trend, then we're good to buy. All right, right to trend. There it goes. Is it gonna break? Poor little breaks trend. Oh, it's going. Short covering there on the 74. Flush of trend. Are you in a long? From where? '40s. I think we're coming down 40.62 right here. There, come. Oh, your buyback? Where you're gonna buy your short bag? Yeah, I remember. Nice. Yeah. They're gonna hold what? The single prints? Oh, um, yeah, I don't know. Like back down to the where the Globex impulse was at. Yeah, maybe. I mean, like right now, I'm not in a trade, but I mean, I, oh, earlier in C period. Oh, during E. Oh, yeah, that's exactly what I did too, and then I closed at 62. But I'm not in a trade now. I mean, we're right there by the bottom of those single prints. We saw some short covering right there at 60 half. Um, but really, like the next mechanical level, honestly, I don't even know if these single prints really matter just because of what they were based off. I mean, there's no contracts here, so it's not like that many people are buying their positions back to prop this up. You know what I mean? It's not like we have a ton of short inventory that's trapped, that's still holding. You know what I mean? They got squeezed out, most of them. So it makes sense that 40-50 is kind of that next level down. If it doesn't hold 40-50, then you start looking for that gap close. And that's kind of how I've been playing all day, just like these mechanical levels. Patient longs, and then for the most part, go with shorts. But like we said, I mean, we said this early on too, like probably should have been fading all day, basically like what my uncle was doing. The weekly VWAP is at 40.49. And then we're back to this balance high. Remember 40-50. So we kind of adjusted it based off the new contract. VIX is climbing here. It's only down about 6%. It's almost at like 24. The gap feels getting closer. Yeah. Yeah, we're pin the tick is pinned here. I'd have to see the reaction, to be honest. Yeah. No worries. Yeah, I'd have to see the reaction. I have to wait. It'd be, Yeah, we're right back at the impulse. Nice. All right, sounds good, TJ. Have a good day, bro. Oh, you're on your sim or eval? I mean, yeah. We should at least play one every day, or at least play them every day. At least play them all every day, at least on like one lot, just so you get the days up. Well, so you have to trade them 10 days. So like so like let's say if you hit your take profit, but you only traded that account 2 days, well, you've got to trade it 8 more days. And let's say you only traded it every other day, you're kind of lagging yourself out there, wasting a little time. So at least put like one MES contract and put it like a take profit of 1 point, stop loss of 1 point, boom, pick red or black. Yeah, yeah, just to get the days up. Maybe. I mean, I do drink coffee. I don't know the coffee I drink. Oh, nah, I'm good, bro. I don't have like a really good palate, so I tend not to like get like expensive stuff. I appreciate it though. You know who was big into coffee like that? My dad back in the day. He used to get this coffee from Hawaii. That was really good. Kona coffee, yeah, from Costco. Jared knows. Yep, yeah, yeah. They got the knockoff. You got to go to Costco to get it. Yeah. Oh, It does. God, when Jared says smart stuff, I'm like a proud dad. I'm like, fucking A right, it does, Jared. Good shit. All right, Peter. Catch you later. Yeah, I mean, if it gets above that 66, you probably see short covering. So yeah, that's a good spot. Yeah. Spot. Oh, I just think that's where the impulse started at. So we assume that all those buyers that are buying off of that low are just shorter time frame traders in shorts that were trapped that are finally back to break even. But people are buying the impulse. Smart people. Oh, rip this head off. Damn, I have dumbbells in my hand for the fucking whatever these things are called. All right, I'll take your stops. Kettle, kettlebells, that's what they're called. Kettlebell. And what's your total for the day? You got to be up. Half a month's goal right there. Monthly goal of 200 points. Either way, it doesn't matter. Or TJ's wait, his trade's going to set up and he's not even going to be here to trade it. He's hoping and praying. So there's buying here coming in off the 60, that's stepping up, and you're seeing shorts try to hammer this 63 half. So there's that pop. So if it stays above this 63 half, good odds that it tests 68, which is basically where liquidation kind of uh, increased on that move down. The real offer is much higher, but it like so what TJ was looking for on this setup is he's looking for this thing to short cover back up to the 50 seeing all these previous lows here, he was looking to get short inside this area here, using the VWAP as a stop and then targeting the low. Um, yeah, he was waiting for a bounce to get short. Yeah. Sell a rally, down day. Oh yeah. Well, that's exactly what they did during that E period. They ran those stops. Failure to get above the 4100 was kind of our key ticket, and then you risky. It'd be really cool to see F period rally all the way up to like 84 and fail and short that back down. Finally, this woman. So, all right, guys, that is going to be it for me. It's 12 o'clock. Go get some lunch and kids. Um, Remember, there's still the Fed tomorrow. I'll share the screen in the Discord, so if you guys want to jump in the Discord, I'll jump on after I eat and stuff. But yeah, other than that, you guys have a wonderful day. Make sure that you are managing risk and sticking to your trade plan, and I will catch you all later.